Welcome back to another trade recap. Today is April the 14th. I hope you guys are doing well. Haven't done one of these in about a week, so we're going to do a full market update. We're going to also go over my trading statistics for the month of April so far. Nice rally towards the upside. As you can see, markets, SPY cues, we've talked about it. If you guys have joined the pre-market preps, we've talked about the rally towards the upside. We are gravitating towards those levels. With that being said, let's hop right into my trading statistics for the month so far. Haven't done an update for you guys in a while, but let's go over it right here. P&L for the month of April so far, 28,000, 50% win rate, 3.22 profit factor, 66% day win percentage, average win to loss ratio of 3.22. So pretty slow start to the month, but it's picked up. We had some news last week and we started getting really nice trading opportunities the past week in the market. So as you can see here, first week down about $2,000, followed up by another couple red trades, but nice couple of trades here and there. Of course, we had that gap up. I think this was on Wednesday of last week, and we've had some very nice trading opportunities towards the upside. $29,000 last week. And then this week so far, the thesis has been fairly spot on. Didn't take any trades yesterday, couldn't find a solid entry. But as you can see, higher time frame thesis has been spot on. Intraday price action, timing has been a little bit off, but as I mentioned, higher time frame thesis looking for that push towards the upside. Took 3 trades today. One solid trade on Nvidia, took 2 losing trades, one on Palantir, one on Tesla that ended up working out later into the day. So far, up about 1.3 thousand on the week. But with that being said, fairly solid month so far. And I am expecting a lot nicer price action, as I mentioned, ever since we had that gap up last Tuesday. And of course, every single dip is being bought up so far. Next levels that we do have, of course, is the all-time highs on the higher time frames. But let's go on to my trades that I end up taking for this week. Before we do that, let me pull up the pre-market game plan for today. Game plan April 14th coming to market open. You can see that we end up having a nice rally towards the upside. Now we are above the previous day highs. What I like to see is a hold above the previous day highs coming to market open. We'll maintain a bullish stance in the markets for a continued push towards the upside. SPY 686, Q618 for continuation. Main watches Nvidia, AMD, rest of the semis above previous day highs. Google, Microsoft, Meta above 638, Amazon above 240. So basically everything was on watch today for continuation higher. SPY and Qs, as I mentioned, was above our previous day highs. So we're just looking for that previous day highs continuation towards the upside. If we were to look at this on the daily time frame, first, let's kind of talk about this. We talked about the gap up that we had last week. We had some bearish news earlier into this week, but it didn't get sold into. We immediately got bought back up and we're continuing higher. So a good thing to note is that whenever we have bearish news in the markets, and the markets fail to sell off lower, right? As you can see here, originally we had war news and we kind of just consolidated, right? More war news that finally dropped the markets and we ended up having a push towards the downside. Now you can see the market started finding a bottom here. We had some more bearish news. And then of course, now with this huge gap up with the peace deal, and now every single time we have some sort of bearish news catalyst, you can see the market is not heading lower. Every single dip is being bought up. And that's a great sign that the markets are just going to continue higher, right? So the next levels that we have, of course, is our all-time highs. SPY is the leading indice. All-time highs is in play. It's actually potentially going to hit it today or tomorrow. Right, so you can see how bullish the market is, and I think it caught a lot of people off guard, just because once we had this gap up, a lot of people are looking for this potential gap fill reversal, right? And no one was really expecting this move up and towards our all-time highs, at least this quickly, right? Once we had that gap up. So once we're able to break above the key highs, right, we're failed to make a brand new low here on Monday. You can see instantly bought up. In the NQ here as well, instantly bought right back up, right off our key level of support. That was a good sign that the markets were going to continue higher. So now for the overall markets, right, we're expecting that all-time highs push very soon here. But at least for the game plan coming to market open, what we had coming to market open here today was the maintain above our previous day highs. Maintain above our previous day highs continuation. This was our number 1 scenario that we want to see. Another possible scenario, since it was very much bullish, break above our pre-market highs, hold above that for continuation. And as you can see here, nice break, retest of your pre-market high, continuation towards the upside. SPY, similar thesis here. We're looking for that previous day highs hold or the break above our pre-market highs for continuation. Now you can see break above, continuation towards the upside. So those were some of the main game plans coming to market open. I was keeping an eye out on NVIDIA, which we'll talk about here in a second. AMD above our previous day highs. Even Tesla above our previous day highs, nice trade up and towards our last week's highs. Kind of talk about the setup later into the session, but a lot of names: Microsoft, Google above key levels, Meta above that 640. So a lot of names that we're looking for coming into market open here today. Now, with this being said, let's go into some of the trades that I ended up taking today. Number one, NVIDIA, which was off basically a reclaim setup back above VWAP. This one, I was looking for one of two scenarios coming to market open, either the previous day high break and retest or above. Actually, this was really the only scenario I was looking for. Previous day high break and retest. We also had kind of your pre-market high potential break and retest here as well. Ended up actually retesting right before market open, right off that 190, and you can see big buyers stepping in. So for NVIDIA, was looking for really now some sort of pullback, came all the way back down and towards our pre-market highs, but showed some strength here. So went for that reclaim back above VWAP. I don't have VWAP on this chart currently, but that was a nice trade up and towards 193, scale majority of my position and cut the rest just because I entered in on the reclaim. If I entered in closer to your previous day lows, I would have maintained for a higher low based off the 5-minute time frame. So that was the trade of the day. You can see it's working out a little bit later here after that first initial pullback. I tried Tesla, this one, solid entry, but ended up cutting back under that 350s. I like the game plan here on Tesla. Right, basically we're looking for that previous day high hold, was unable to get that earlier entry, so wanted the pre-market high retest for continuation towards the upside. You can see now it's working out a little bit later here on that second reclaim, but for Tesla, the first reclaim entered in, was looking for 5-day plus continuation, unfortunately wasn't able to hit it, but if you're to enter in once again on that reclaim, it would have worked a second time very nicely up and towards our last week's highs, as you can see, which was our high from Wednesday of last week. So Tesla would end up working out nicely. Ended up taking a loser on that one. Try Palantir as well. Similar thing. Palantir, where a lot of these ones had a nice move right off the bat. The best entry would have been closer to our previous day highs. But since it had such a big move higher, right, you're looking for that next setup, which would be the opening range setup, either some sort of reclaim. Try Palantir here. Another kind of solid entry, just wasn't able to gravitate higher and ended up cutting it once it broke underneath that 136. Actually came back down for that pre-market high and then pushed up and towards that 138. But not really too much on Palantir and the rest of the names. But as you can see, a lot of things are shaping up nicely. You make sure you guys are watching this pre-market price because there's a lot of higher time frames setting up. I know the past couple of weeks or the past couple of months, a lot of consolidation in the markets, but we're starting to trend nicely, right? We had that nice trend towards the downside and now we're gravitating higher. There's a lot more room towards the upside here as well. So we had that period of consolidation. Now we're breaking underneath. Now you can expect that kind of push back up and towards our all-time highs, kind of like an AMD setup, accumulation, right? Manipulation, and then you have the distribution back towards the upside, but we are going to gravitate up and towards that all-time highs on both SPY and the Qs. And we can even expect, right, a potential bigger push towards the upside here. Could we see some sellers step in? Yes, but ultimately we want to see that kind of push up and towards our all-time highs. And of course, SMH is leading the way. So a lot of beautiful setups in the markets here. All right, definitely you can be looking for even some longer term day trades or even some swing positions back towards the upside, especially if you have really good entry or you build some sort of buffer. But yeah, that is going to be it for me today. Just doing a quick little recap here for you guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy that. If you did, appreciate if you guys drop a like and sub, and I'll see you guys next week, or I'll see you guys whenever I make the next trade recap. All right, take care everyone. Peace.